welcome back everybody to part 3 of my Walking Dead collection. Get ready for this episode because there's going to be some of the most expensive and valuable rare items in my collection, so be excited. Alright, getting into the first item, we have this Negan Walking Dead comic tune tumbler is what they were called. I think there was 4 in this set, but I got the Negan one because I love Negan. Pretty cool design, and it's actually pretty quality. I have yet to drink out of this, so maybe one day I will. Next up, we have this little Rick mini guy. He was from the Skybound second release of the Mega Box. The first one was a Negan theme, and the second one was a Rick Grimes theme. So I got the blood spattered variant here, and he's got his little hat. Very cool. Next up, we have this If Daryl Dies, We Riot bracelet. It's glow in the dark. I have a flashlight. I'm going to see if I can get it to glow for you guys. Just a little bit. Yeah. I have other glow-in-the-dark items. This one didn't glow as much, but hopefully I can get you some glow-in-the-dark items later in maybe one of the other videos. Next up, we have this Daryl Mystery Mini from the second series of the Funko Mystery Minis. It's the blood-splattered version, and I believe this was a 1 out of 72 chance to get this Daryl. He's got his biker jacket on. Next up, we have this Hot Topic exclusive Rick Mystery Mini. I really like this one because it has his red-handled machete, the one that he kills Gareth with in Season 5. So this is probably one of my favorite Mystery Minis I got. Hot Topic exclusive, so good for Hot Topic. Alright, next up I have my only action figures that I've ever taken out of the box. But for my sake, because I deeply regret it, I'm going to put the price of what they would be if they were in the box. If you don't like that, sue me. Whatever. Alright, so this first one was a 2-pack. It was black and white walkers. It was the very first action figures they actually released. And ironically, they're the coolest. So look at this guy. He can come off and he becomes a little crawler guy. And his head pops off too. So that's pretty cool. And he also came with this guy, who also is pretty cool. So you hit this button on his back. Watch what happens. His head explodes, so that's actually really cool. And if you bring this knife back down, it resets him. So these are like by far the coolest action figures they ever released, and ironically they're the first ones that got lazy afterwards. But he came with this axe, so you can like ask him a question. Next up, we have this comic Rick, who, if you guys have been reading the comics, maybe pour one out. But we have Rick Grimes. And he came with a little axe, which is his iconic weapon in the comic book. He came with a pistol, and he came with his bag of shotguns that he took to the Atlanta when he first left Kings County, which he also did in the show, but one of the things the show and the comic both had alike was a bag of guns that Rick brought. And then lastly, for the action figures that I opened, we have Daryl Dixon from the Series 1 McFarlane toys. Probably one of my favorite action figures I have, just because this one's like one of the most rare. He came with his crossbow and an axe and a pickaxe, which are 2 things he used. Came with his knife. And then the one that, because they re-released this Daryl in a later McFarlane series, but what sets him apart from that one is he comes with these squirrels. This is one of the cooler accessories they ever had. So look, these little squirrels on a string. There's Daryl. Alright, moving on, we have this Walker pin, which I believe was released at Comic-Con. It's pretty cool. I think it was on like one of those grab bag tables where you can just get a bunch of free bookmarks and stuff. But this pin, Walking Dead themed, got a Walker. Pretty cool. Next up, we have the Comic-Con pass I had the year I went. Got Negan on it, because this was the year that Negan first appeared in the show. And it also had a Walking Dead themed lanyard, which is pretty cool. Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead. So, there's that. Next up, we have this other lanyard I got at Comic-Con. It's a Skybound lanyard, and you got this at the Skybound booth. If you don't know, Skybound is the publisher of the Walking Dead comics. And this specific lanyard you got if you spent a certain amount of money at the Skybound booth. So this is pretty cool. And the final lanyard I have is this If Daryl Dies, We Riot lanyard. It's got some cool designs on the actual lanyard part, and it's also got this cool crossbow keychain attachment. So you could use it for this little card, or you could switch it out for a Comic-Con pass. Anything you want to do with this lanyard, or even like a Disneyland pass. Next up, we have these Walking Dead poker chips, which I found at Target one time. They just got random walkers on them. I believe some of them have actual characters. I think one has Carl, maybe. Maybe they are all just walkers. Let me see. Oh, here we go. We have the governor, so there are some characters. And on the back, you can see it's 4 out of 42. So I had this one shiny one. I'm not sure how much these are worth. I never saw them again after that one time at Target, but they're pretty cool. Next up, we have the other chibi guys, the ones I got in the actual packs. And how the packs worked is you'd get one actual character like Glenn or Maggie or Michonne. You get one walker like these random guys, or the well walker. And then you get one clear one. And the rare ones were these red guys. So I have 2 red guys. Not sure how much these guys are worth, but I'll put them all kind of like in a list right here with ones that are actually valuable. Some of these guys, like this little walker, might not even be worth listing, but the chibis are pretty cool. Next up, we have where the real crazy value and rare items are going to get. Inside this Walking Dead loot crate is where all my cards and other things are. So going through this is going to be fun, but it's going to take a while, and it's probably going to be the rest of this episode. So let's get ready for that. Alright, let's get into it. Starting off here, we have this wolf temporary tattoo. This is released at Comic-Con the year that the wolves were like the big threat in between Season 5 and Season 6. So I thought this was a cool little knick-knack to have. It's like a temporary tattoo, like the W they carved onto their heads. Next up, we have this other Comic-Con exclusive. This was a Rick Grimes Sheriff Badge, I believe, released in a raffle type deal where they had gold and silver versions. This is the gold version. It's got great detail. It's heavy. It's high quality. Rick Grimes, King County, 2003. Next up, we have this cool little velvet Walking Dead bag, and what's inside but this cool Negan pendant made out of stainless steel, I believe. It's got a little Walking Dead charm on it. It's actually very cool. I believe this was limited to only 250, so it's a very cool item. Next up, we have this pre-order bonus for the Walking Dead Survival Instinct. If you didn't play that, good for you, because it was trash. Just kidding. It was alright. It wasn't an amazing game by any means, but it served its purpose. So you got this cool little Walking Dead zombie ear keychain to go along with the pre-order if you pre-ordered it. Next up, we have this Comic-Con exclusive bookmark, which has a film reel numbered out of, no focus, but numbered out of 500. So you can see Daryl with the revolver. I believe this is from the scene in Season 2 when he shoots. Next up, we have this Gentle Giant Governor eye patch. This was released during Season 3 when they did a lot of cool little things. They did this eye patch from Gentle Giant. And then they released this at Comic-Con, this gauze patch, which is what he had before he put on the eye patch. So there's this cool gauze patch thing. Next up, we have another Comic-Con exclusive. It was this Walking Dead themed fidget spinner for the Walking Dead No Man's Land. I believe that was an app, so you can see the fidget spin action. Woo! Honestly, I didn't use many fidget spinners. This is the most high quality one I ever used, so shout out No Man's Land for making a good fidget spinner. Next up, we have this bracelet, which was also released at Comic-Con for a Terminus barbecue they had. Barbecue those who arrive. I'm not sure if this is worth anything. I just thought it was pretty cool because it said barbecue on it and it made sense with Terminus, so it's a cool little bracelet. Before we get into the cards and dog tags, I have this Governor Chibi and this Governor Buildable. So these guys kind of go together. They both got the eye patch. This Governor's got the AUG he uses, and this Governor's just pointing. Pretty cool. Alright, starting off with the dog tags, I'll explain a little bit. In each pack of dog tags, which they released at like Walmart, Target, other card collectible type places, you got a carabiner that says The Walking Dead on it. So I have a bunch of different carabiners. I'm not sure how much these are worth, but I'll just multiply it by whatever number that is. They also came with a sticker. And unlike some of the other items The Walking Dead released, the stickers actually got way better over time. So this was like the first generation sticker, this lame little rectangle thing. And then they had this bigger one, better photo, but still kind of lame, flimsy. And then finally they moved on to these way better, like hard cardboard type stickers, which are way more high quality than I ever thought they would get to. But look at these nice stickers. Very cool. Alright, and now to the dog tags themselves. First off, we have this Dale memorabilia. It's his Hawaiian shirt Dale is famous for wearing. Next up, we have Coral, this little blue sweater he wore in Season 3, I believe. Next up, we have Glenn, which I believe this is a Season 4 version, his black shirt he was wearing. This is one of the earlier ones, and in the earlier ones it was kind of hard to tell who it is, but this is Shane. And this is like a blue denim t-shirt he was wearing in the second season. Next we have Rick Grimes, and I believe this is from season 5 after he shaved and when he got to Alexandria. So this is a Alexandria shirt. Pretty cool. Next up we have this holographic walker. I'm not sure if this has any value, but it looks cool. It's shiny. You can see that in the camera. Ooh, rainbow. Next up we have this generic walker, which it's got some blood splatter on the outfit they chose, so that's kind of a cool part of it. And then finally we have my 2 most valuable dog tags. This first one is a combo costume dog tag with Carol and Axel from season 3. I think it's like one of 2 different combo dog tags they released. I'm not sure what the other one was, but the first one was Carol and Axel. And then we have what is probably my most rare item and arguably most valuable item is this dog tag, which is taken from a photo that was in Herschel's farmhouse in season 2. These were very limited. I'm not sure if we'll be able to find a price. I'm going to try hard to, just because I believe this is going to be my most valuable item. So you can see it here. It was like a picture of his house in his house. They took pieces from it and put it in the dog tags. So this is pretty cool. Alright, moving on to the cards. We have the Series 2 of the comic cards. I have the full set, and it came with this bonus extra card, which is the alternative cover to the 100th issue. Rick standing on top of all the bodies of the people who have died throughout the comic. So the comic cards, they just had pictures of like a scene, like we have Michonne here. This is Comic Herschel. I believe that's Andrea. So yeah, these cards are pretty cool. Next up, we have the Cryptozoic Season 4 cards, which I got all in a hobby box I bought. I'll show you the memorabilia and autograph cards I got from this hobby box. I don't recommend ever buying a hobby box because it's just, the luck is abysmal. So I'll show you what I got from that. I got this autograph card of Dr. S, who I remember being named Caleb. So that's probably the most common autograph you could find in the box, and obviously I got it. And then for the memorabilia, I got 2 Terminus residents. So just random extras in the background of Terminus. I got clothes from them. So, long story short, don't buy hobby boxes. Alright, moving on to my more valuable cards. First off, we have this dual wardrobe card of Merle and the Governor. Very cool. This is from season 3 of the Cryptozoic cards. Next up, we have this Norman Reedus auto / memorabilia card. So this is pretty cool. This is from the second half of the season 3 Cryptozoic cards. They started splitting the seasons into 2 until Topps took over from Cryptozoic, but Norman Reedus autograph. Next up, we have this Andrea wardrobe card. This was an exclusive card for a binder that I'll be showing you guys later, but this card came with the binder. It's Andrea in a little like striped shirt. Next up, we have these shadow box cards, which is kind of a long story behind these. I saw on eBay there was packs that guaranteed you either an auto, a wardrobe, or a shadow box card, and I bought a couple of them thinking, wow, maybe I'll get some wardrobes or autos. But no, I found out that the odds of getting those are 1 in 1,000, that you're basically guaranteed to get a bloody shadow box card, so that was not my greatest move on eBay. Next up, we have T-Dog. We got some cargo pants from him. I love T-Dog, underrated character. There's T-Dog. Next up, we have Axel wardrobe from his black button-up he wore. I liked Axel. He's probably my favorite prisoner character in both the comic and the show. Next up, we have this Glenn sketch card. These are one of a kind and came randomly in packs of the comic cards that I showed you earlier. So I'm not exactly sure how to price this. Maybe I'll just base it on other cards similar to this one. This is cool art. I like the red. Nice contrast. Next up, we have this ammo box prop card. It was from the Governor's Assault in Season 4, how they had all those ammo boxes set up. So this is a piece of one of the ammo boxes that they had during the set. Next up is this card I literally just bought because it had a Norman Reedus auto and I didn't have one yet. So it's just a normal card with an auto. I will find other things similar to this to find a price for it, but this is my first Norman Reedus auto I ever got, so I was pretty excited when I got it. The thing in the back is a certificate of authenticity. Next up is one of my favorite cards. This is a piece of a bullet from Season 3. So this is actually very cool. I'll open it, you can get a closer look here. Look at that. Probably my favorite card, or one of them at least. Very cool. Next up is one of the only ones I have from the Topps Walking Dead instead of the Cryptozoic ones. This is a dual autograph from Melissa McBride and Chad L. Coleman, who played Tyrese and Carol respectively. Pretty cool. Numbered out of 99, so pretty rare too. Next up we have this generic Walker memorabilia. It's got black and red flannel, kind of got some grime on it too. It's pretty cool. They had a lot of different Walker cards, so this isn't exactly the most rare thing, but it's still nice to have. Next up we have Shane Season 1 memorabilia. My favorite card design was the first season. This is another thing where the cards seem to get a little bit worse each year, but this is the original design. A lot more detail and stuff, so this is Shane memorabilia. Next up we have another sketch card, and this one is my old pal Negan. This is probably one of the best sketch cards I saw while looking through eBay, and probably one of the only ones I ever saw of Negan, so I knew I had to have it when I saw it. Look how cool this is. Next up we have more Dale Hawaiian shirt, just this time in card form. Dale seemed to only wear Hawaiian shirts, so I guess all the memorabilia of him is Hawaiian shirt form. Very cool. Next up we have a wine bottle prop from Season 4. I believe this is when Daryl and Beth were out in the woods and they were setting up like noise traps or something. So this is a wine bottle prop. Kind of random, but still pretty cool. Next, similar to the Norman Reedus wardrobe / auto, we have an Andrew Lincoln, Rick Grimes wardrobe / auto. The only Andrew Lincoln autograph I have, so very cool. The main character, main actor, got his auto. Next up, another one of my favorite prop cards. This is a piece of the barbed wire from the prison. See, it's a little part of the top piece. I think some of the pieces were other sections of it, but I got one that was the actual spiky part, so that's pretty cool. Barbed wire from the prison. Next up, we have a T-Dog auto from the Season 1 collection. You can see Iron E. Singleton's autograph here. He was also in The Blind Side. I'm not sure how much other stuff he's made. I know he also made this weird heavy metal song. I'll put a clip right here. It's very bizarre, but I'm glad Iron E's still doing stuff. Next up, we have a Glenn Season 1 memorabilia from his cool baseball jersey he had in the first season. Very nice. And last but not least for this episode, we have a Glenn auto, Steven Yeun. Not many chances to get his auto now because, or at least from cards, obviously in person you can, but since he's no longer on the show, it's very cool that I was able to get a Steven Yeun autograph. Not the most amazing signature, but I like it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Here's the total for this episode. I believe it'll probably be the most expensive total, so let's keep on going. There'll probably be 2 more episodes. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Tell me you could say that shit. All she want is payback for the way I always play that shit.